Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the Infinite Baffle channel. My name is Niall and today we've got a very exciting video for you because I'm sure you're familiar with Lionel Messi, LeBron James, Michael Schumacher, all GOATs in their respective fields, but today we've got another GOAT for you all. It's the Wharfedale Diamond 10.1 speakers, a budget bookshelf that comes in at just £159, and I truly believe this is the greatest bookshelf speaker for a budget on the market and has been for quite some time. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it, make sure to subscribe for weekly hi-fi content, and let's just get into what makes these speakers so fantastic for such a small price. When it comes to the appearance and design, there is nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to the 10.1s here. They're what I would consider to be a quintessential British hi-fi speaker, something that you will have seen this or something very similar to many times in the past. They're not a big bookshelf, but they're not a small bookshelf either, kind of falling against slap bang in the middle of what I would consider to be like a standard size bookshelf speaker. They're just over 29 centimeters high, 19 centimeters wide and 27 centimeters deep. So yeah, very much middle of the road once again on that front. The 10.1s are available in a blackwood finish and a walnut finish as well. And the beauty of this kind of design is that they're just so neutral. You could put these speakers pretty much anywhere in my opinion. When it comes to powering the 10.1s, this is one of their strong suits, which we'll talk about a little bit more later in the video, but Wharfedale recommend an amplifier power of between 20 and 100 watts, and they're rated to 86 dB of sensitivity as well. They also have a frequency range of 48 Hz to 24 kHz. As always, I will link the speakers in the description of the video, so you can click on the link there, see all the tech specs in full and any more details should you need them. But if you do have any questions, do be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. I must say it feels really refreshing for us as well to do this, because a lot of the time when we're doing videos on the channel, I'm listening to speakers, I'm playing with amplifiers for the first time. It's our first hands-on experience with that particular product, whereas with these 10.1s here, I must have 100 hours, I would say, listening to these in various different setups, so I feel super informed to speak about them. I will say the irony is not lost on me as well, that we have in a lot of the shots of the speakers, the 10.1s at £159 with the blades sat behind them, looming in the distance at a £20,000 price point. The juxtaposition of those two being next to each other is not lost on me, and when I was editing it did kind of make me chuckle to think, you know, we really have got both ends of the hi-fi spectrum there in one shot. I mean, listen, the 10.1s, they've been around for over 15 years now, and in that whole time they haven't changed at all, and there's a good reason for that. I mean, they're clean, they're simple, they just work, and the sound is absolutely, you know, far better than I think than you would ever expect at a speaker at that £159 price point. And let's get into that a little bit more. Let's talk about how these sound and just what it is that makes them so special. I should mention at this point as well that we will include a sound test at the end of the video, so you guys can listen to these for yourselves, kind of try and gauge an opinion. But I really do mean what I said at the start of the video. For a budget speaker, I really do believe these are the greatest of all time. The first thing for me that makes these speakers so special is that they take on the attributes of whatever it is that you're plugging them into, even if they're at a much higher level. Now, you'll hear the sound test at the end if you stick around, and in this instance, we paired these speakers up with the Name Unity Atom, which it's overkill. Let's not beat around the bush. If you're, for most people, buying a £159 pair of bookshelf speakers, you're not going to be going out there and buying a plus £2,000 all-in-one or amplifier, whatever it might be. But the wonderful thing about the 10.1s is that it doesn't matter if you plug them into a £50 amplifier or a £5,000 amplifier, they still sound absolutely fantastic. And what I mean by that is you can plug them into something like, for example, a Tangent Ampster, an amplifier I've paired these with many times, entry-level amplifier. I think it's again around £150, £200 off the top of my head, and they sound wonderful, they sound great, they do a really good job. Now if you then take these 10.1s and plug them into a Luxman 507, something which I've also done, they just seem to just elevate themselves along with the equipment that you're plugging them into. Now, obviously they're not going to have the same refinement and same quality as a £5,000 speaker, a £10,000 speaker, but they do sound absolutely brilliant. And just like I say, they mirror the characteristics of the amplifier so well. Another big thing for me with the 10.1s is just how immaculately well they're balanced, because although I think they've got a slightly warm leaning sound, they're very natural, and they're very much middle of the road in terms of sound signature. They're super well balanced, as I said, and the great thing about that is that it means no matter what genre you're listening to, whether it's rock, whether it's hip hop, whether it's dance, whether it's jazz, whether it's classical, they always just seem to sound absolutely spot on. The low end and the bass extension is also incredibly impressive from a bookshelf speaker's perspective, but at the same time the treble and the highs are also super clear. When it comes to the sound stage in terms of separation, you know, they're not the same as something that's going to be a bit more refined, a little bit higher end, but what they do have is a great center image, so they never tend to sound muddy and everything seems just balanced is the word I'm going to use again. It's a very balanced presentation, so even when there's a lot going on, they still just really seem to hit the spot. The vocals, again, are a little bit warm leaning, but still have a real natural replication. I think overall, they really do give you that kind of British hi-fi sound. It's very much the quintessential British hi-fi sound, in fact, that you would expect from someone like Wharfedale. Today we've had them in the Audio Affair demonstration room, which is a fairly large space, and I do think they lose a little bit of their magic in a bigger room. They definitely shine a lot more in a smaller space, so think, you know, office, think student living area, think kitchen, think man cave, that kind of area. They are absolutely sublime, but you know, it is what it is. It's a bookshelf speaker. When it comes to a bigger space, they're always going to lose a little bit of that edge. I think above all of that though, the 10.1s are just a fun, engaging speaker to listen to, and it's because of that great low end, the natural warm leaning presentation, and that great sound stage. It just means that it doesn't matter if you're listening to Etta James or Deftones or the Chemical Brothers, they will just always sound absolutely great. And that's all there is to it, really. I mean, I mentioned it a little bit earlier that these speakers have been around for over 15 years now, and they're multiple award winners. They've always been incredibly popular, and there is a reason for that, because if you're somebody that's looking to maybe dip your toe into the hi-fi world for the first time, you're looking for a solid starter speaker, you're working on a budget, £159, it is not going to get any better than this. Whether it's something you want in a man cave as a backup system, whether you're dusting off some old records and you want something that's going to do them justice, whether you want them in a kitchen, in an office, anything like that, they are super versatile and just sound absolutely wonderful. And again, I'm going to mention it, for £159, they punch so far above that price point. And it's worth mentioning as well, you know, that if you are someone that's getting into the hi-fi world for the first time, you pick up these speakers, they sound great, but you've got the Wharfedale badge on the front as well, a manufacturer that is just quintessentially British hi-fi, and I think that's something that also a lot of people appreciate. It just ticks so many boxes, the Diamond 10.1 for me, and again, at the price point, they are absolutely outrageously good. But I mean, these aren't a new speaker. I'd love to know your thoughts if you've ever managed to listen to them in the past. Again, there will be a short sound test to follow this as well, so you can have a listen to the speakers and try and make a judgment call for yourselves. But that is going to end off the video. As I mentioned at the top, guys, if you do enjoy it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe for weekly hi-fi content, and we'll catch you all in next week's upload, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.